welcome back to another filming of Captain's Call. I'm Captain John Bushey.
I'm Chief Brooks.
And today we have a special guest star.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Antonio Williams, NAFA Security Officer.
So, Seco has been here for how long?
About 2 months now, sir.
About 2 months?
July 1st.
July 1st, awesome. Well, Seco, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Security Department?
Sure, sir. I'd be glad to. Right now, I currently have about 101 MAs, sir, that we have currently assigned to NAFA Security. We have about 50 SGF, and those are called Security Guard Forces, which are essentially our Japanese MLC employees. So to get combined, we have about 100, 151, if you do the math. Quite a big, robust security force that we have. I have that security force broken down to 6 divisions, sir. We have a military working dog division. I have an armory, which if you shot before here in Atsugi, you've shot at the range that we own there. I have an AT PhysSec division who is responsible for the anti-terrorism force protection of the base, and that's essentially is our perimeter and making sure that we're safe, essentially, and our vulnerabilities are addressed while we do our day-to-day jobs. I have an operations division also, which is kind of the more probably infamous of the security people I have. Those are the ones that you see in patrol cars and the law enforcement, but they're not always bad. That's one of the things I want to change, and I worked hard to change our image that when you see a police car coming, it's not always a bad thing. Also, I have the VRO pass. I'm pretty sure everybody's came in contact with them when you registered your car or came and registered in DBIDS, which I'm going to talk a little bit more later. And training division, which is probably one of my favorite divisions because they do a lot and help get everybody on track, sir. So that's kind of a nutshell what our security folks is comprised of, sir.
Okay. So, daily operations. Usually we tend to interact with the MAs who are at the guard posts, at the ECPs, at the entry gates as we come onto the installation.
Yes, sir.
And then, like you said, we tend to see people that are on patrol and they're driving around in the white vans or in the pickup trucks that we have around the base.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure everybody understands that the MAs are always on watch. They're the people that are standing guard to make sure that we're safe and that we have a nice, stable community inside the fence line. But they also work with JMSDF to make sure that our combined base has a nice, quiet residential feel to it as well. But should something happen, the MA force is going to be the ones who are going to be our first line of defense. So please make sure that you understand what they're doing. They're not doing something to pick on you. They're not doing something to cause you an inconvenience, but they're trying to make sure that we're a safe installation. We're a hard target for anybody that might be wanting to do us ill, I guess, if you want to say.
Yes, sir.
Say it like that. But they also do an awful lot of training. You'll see the military working dogs around the base. You will see our ATFP folks doing drills. You'll see different things on Tuesday, which is your drill day.
Yes, sir.
So you've got a ton of things that are going on. So please make sure that you support what our MAs and our SGF are doing, because they're doing that to help support you and your family while you're on the base, to make sure that, like I said, we're all safe and that we keep the bad guys on the outside and the good guys on the inside. So.
Yes, sir.
So you just recently did an exercise, right?
Yes, sir. We did Citadel Pacific 16. It's my third one in a row in this AOR. This one went real well. This was my first one at the installation, sir. We did a ton of drills. We did a lot of penetration drills. We had an active shooter drill, which was fantastic. We got a lot of lessons learned out of that. We working it out at the leadership level, some things that we can work on as far as SOP-wise to facilitate a easy transition so the guys are trained and they can meet the standards what the Navy set and what me as a security officer and your standards are, sir.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned the active shooter drill.
Yes, sir.
I know that's something that our emergency manager is working on extremely hard, too, to make sure that everybody understands what they should do if there's an active shooter. We've done a lot of these drills in the States, especially after the Washington Navy Yard and some of the other places that, unfortunately, we've had that happen. We can run those drills here for you and your organization if you are interested in having those. Contact SECO, contact our EMO, Mr. Greg Wise. They can set you up with how to get this in your own organization. I know we've done it within our own workspaces, and it's interesting to see how people, first of all, react or don't react, as well as who knows what the proper responses are. What should you do? What shouldn't you do? It's really very good training. So if you'd like to bring that into your own work center, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have that happen on Atsugi. We definitely want to be prepared if it does happen on Atsugi. But it's a skill that somebody can transplant with them when they rotate to another installation or another job someplace, just in case that would ever happen.
Yes, sir.
So what other things are happening in security? What initiatives do you have going on, or what big discussion points do you have?
Well, sir, one of the things, like I say, I've been here for 2 months, and one of the things security has started, which is new, is a Training Tuesday day. We've always had Training Tuesday, but now we do actual drills where we try to involve, like you said, other first responders, and everyone in security, from myself to every chief that I have in security available, is participating in these drills every Tuesday. So typically the time frame is from 09 to 1100, and we do various things like active shooter, where you do penetration of a vehicle got on a base. And what this does is train our security force to make them ready and if an incident happen. So one of the things that I've read and seen in other after-action reports is that a lot of people did not, they were scared to respond because they had the training, but it was kind of one of them fire and forget things. So one of the initiatives that I wanted to do is kind of get my patrolmen to be familiar with responses and to continue just to continue to do it as much as we can, so it'll be second nature to them. So that is why we included and instituted a robust training plan, which is, again, every Tuesdays from 9 to 11. So if you do see patrolmen out there or people running around with a vest with a badge, those are our Training Tuesdays, and it's not meant to inconvenience anyone. It's just meant to, again, better train my police and NSF force. So that's one of the big things that we have going on. And a couple other discussion items that I wanted to talk about was things that's kind of separate from training is registration of your bicycles. Right now we have quite a bit of bicycles that are on base that are unregistered. Remember, you're required to get your bicycle registered, and you just stop by a VRO office there, and they'll get you hooked up with getting your bicycle registered. Also, DBIDS registration.
Can I stop you there for a second?
Yes, sir.
So what are the 3 ways that you can prove proof of ownership for that bicycle? Do you remember?
Yes, sir. So if you have if the receipt when you purchase the bicycle, if you have that, that would be great. Also, if you got it shipped and transferred, your actual, the inventory list, I believe what it is, that you get in, when you get in your household goods shipped, that is, will be suffice also.
Right. And I know the third way is you just have to sign a memo saying that this is your bicycle. So a lot of people are under the misconception that they have to have the first 2 options, the household goods inventory or the receipt, and that's what's needed to register your bike. Not so. If you don't have those, you can still bring it in, and we want you to register your bike, because if it gets lost, if it gets stolen, that's the way we can trace it back to you. So please help us help you. That's what it's there for. We're not trying to be onerous or trying to take time away from your busy schedule, but we're trying to help you in case something unfortunate happens to your bike.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And again, we can help you with that process. It's real quick, doesn't take long. You come in there, bring one of those 3 items like the captain just mentioned, and we'll get you taken care of. Second thing, sir, I wanted to talk about was DBID registration. Talked to my patrolmen at both gates, the ECPs, and probably about 2 out of 10, so around 20% of people that they registered, that they put up on our scanner is not registered in DBIDs. These are people that belong to the actual installation. So I just want to throw a plug out there that please come in and your ID, your dependent's ID, register with DBID so we can have 100% accountability if anything were to go wrong on the base. So I appreciate your help on that.
Remember, too, if you get a new ID card, you have to go back over and register it in DBIDs. And if you're not registered, we will strongly encourage you to get over and get it registered. We can talk more about that later.
Yes, sir. The other thing I want to talk about is school has started, as everyone knows. And a lot of people, it's just a reminder, when you're driving on base, we have the speed limits posted there. Please pay attention, because my patrolmen are going to be looking out. And I have a 2-year-old, and I know sometimes children kind of take off real quick. So the slower you going, the better your reaction time is for those kids that just run across the street where they don't supposed to. So help us out with that to make sure that you're going the speed limit, not above the speed limit, and going even slower sometimes is not bad also in the respective school zones.
And the school zones are 15 clicks, Chicago?
Yes, sir. Yep. Okay, also at the skate park, we've got a lot of complaints about people not wearing helmets at the skate park. Remember, it's a requirement that if you're operating your skateboard that you have your helmet on. So please wear your helmet when you're at the skate park. We will be looking out for this. My patrolman has been instructed that if they see someone that using a skateboard without their helmets to go get their helmet. So just as a reminder, and it's for your own safety, to make sure that you're wearing helmets all the time when you're using the skate park. A couple other things, sir. Riding the bikes across the sidewalk. Just want to reiterate, and I know probably a lot of people know this already, is that if you're on the sidewalk and you're crossing the street, that you must get off your bicycle and walk the bicycle across the street. This is, again, for your own safety, to make sure that you don't get hit or anything of that nature. So if you're in the street driving as a vehicle, as a car, then you can cross the street as a bicycle is actually a car. But if you're on the sidewalk and crossing the street, please just get off your bike and just walk it across to the other side. And two other quick things, sir, if I may. Loose dogs. Just want to throw a reminder out there also that if you have a dog, that if you're taking them around to use the bathroom or whatever the case, make sure that they're on a leash. And finally, September 11th, as we know, is coming up. I just want to remind everybody that make sure that you're vigilant if you go to Tokyo area during this time. A lot of people be in large groups during this time. Just make sure that you're vigilant. And I plan on releasing a vigilance message, send it out via email, just as a reminder to just keep your head on a swivel while you're operating in the Tokyo area, or anywhere for that matter.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all good stuff. Chief, did you have anything you'd like to?
No, sir.
All right. Sicko, any closing comments?
No, sir. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come and be able to share what security does. I couldn't ask for a better security force than I have right now, so they're doing great, and I'm happy to be the security officer. I got a lot of great patrolmen and chiefs and SGF workers there, so I'm grateful, sir.
Yes, you do. Very good security force that we have here. Everybody's always working hard. Everybody's trying to meet everybody at the front gate with a smile, as well as be as professional as possible. So thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that our MAs do while they're patrolling and doing the various activities within the department. And with that, I think we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the second half. So we'll see you in a couple minutes. And we're back. So this week I'd like to make sure that we recognize our Sailor of the Week, and it's PS2 Elisa Ortiz from PSD. She works in mill pay and admin, and she's also the one who's responsible for the starting and stopping of special pays. So if you have any questions about the starting and stopping, she's the one that takes care of that for you. But she's been here for about a year, and she's recognized as our Sailor of the Month. And if you see PS2, please say congratulations to her. So let's shift over to some Bravo Zulus. Chief, would you like to help me out a little bit?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Service providers, Trilogy. My family and I often go to visit Trilogy to enjoy their Sunday brunch and Monday Mongolian barbecue. The staff is always friendly, helpful, and they provide great customer service. Thank you very much, and keep up the great work.
All right, so service provider is NEX. I would like to thank Ms. Nagumi over at Personal Services. She was very helpful about the engraving process and went out of her way to help me out very much. Thank you very much. So good job to her.
Service provider, PSD. Ms. Garcia is a true professional and made our visit at PSD a wonderful experience. Thank you for what you do. PSD doesn't get too many BCs, so it's nice that they get the recognition when they do a great job.
Exactly. All right, and service provider is Halsey Gym. The most incredible, professional, friendly staff I've ever seen works at Halsey Gym. They are always willing to help, always putting people first, and always putting forth 100%. Atsugi is blessed to have a great team like the one at Halsey Gym. Very well done. So good job. All right, anything you'd like to wrap up with this week?
No, sir.
All right. Well, as we already talked about in the first half, this is going to be the week when we commemorate 911. I know we've got a ceremony that's happening at Alliance Park that's going to take place on Friday the 9th, as well as we've got 2 runs that are actually happening on the 11th themselves. So please come out for the ceremony. I believe it's at 0845. It should be a very fitting tribute to all the heroes of 911,
Yes, sir.
as well as then on the 11th at 5:30, I believe, there's a registration for a 6:30 run if you're an early riser on the 11th itself, as well as then beginning at colors in the morning, 2 colors in the evening. We're having a team red, white, and blue that's going to be moving the flag continuously around the base.
Yes,
And
sir.
that could be a team of 1, it could be a family, it could be an entire group. So if you're so inspired, please come out. And usually they mark on top of Halsey Gym. Just wait there for a little bit, and the flag will make its way back to Halsey Gym. If you are interested in participating, you are more than welcome to come out and help. And with that, I think that's all I've got for this week.
Yes, sir.
So until we see you next time, thank you very much for tuning in.